right here in front of us in the very own arena, joining us for this amazing session, which says the best practices in Indian coal sector. We have the session moderator here, Shri D.B. Sundararaman Garu. Let's give a huge round of applause to him and welcome him. So he's the Vice President of Corporate Services at Tata Steel with over 3 decades experience in raw materials, mining and operations. Ladies and gentlemen, the panel comprises of esteemed people over here on the dais. You all have already joined us. Shri Achyut Ghatak is the Director Technical at CMP with over 3 decades of distinguished experience in Coal India Limited. We have Shri Prasanna Kumar M, who is the CMD of NLC India Limited, who is also an accomplished power and coal sector leader with more than over 3 decades of experience, a gold medalist in mechanical engineering, proven expertise in strategic management and fuel operations. Then we also have Professor Arvind Kumar Mishra Garu, the Director of CSIR CIMFR Dhanbad, and also a distinguished mining engineer with more than over 3 decades of experience spanning academia, industry and research. A PhD from IIT ISM Dhanbad, he has contributed extensively to mining technology and innovation. And we have Shri Balram Garu, who is an IRS officer of 2010 batch, Chairman, Managing Director of Singareni Collieries Company Limited, a dynamic administrator and visionary leader who also serves as the Finance Director, driving growth and efficiency in Telangana's coal sector. We also have Shri Anurag Dikshit Garu, the General Manager of West Bokaro Division, Tata Steel, who is a seasoned mining professional with more than over 3 decades at Tata Steel, IIT Kanpur alumnus. He has also led his diverse mining operations and actively contributed to the industry knowledge and policy discussions. We also have Shri Sajish Kumar N, the Coal Controller, Government of India, who is an IRTS officer who previously served with us in the Northern Railways. He brings valuable expertise in logistics and infrastructure management, ensuring effective regulation, monitoring and governance of India's coal sector. Ladies and gentlemen, can we have a huge round of applause for all the panelists here on the dais? We are beginning with the first section, which says best practices in Indian coal sector. Leading companies like Coal India Limited, NLC India Limited, SCCL and Tata Steel are adopting advanced mine closure models, ecological restoration and community-centering approaches. So these practices are aiming to balance energy needs with environmental care and socio-economic upliftment. Over to Shri Sundararam sir, the moderator. Give a big round of applause as he takes over the session.
Once again, good afternoon, everybody. Honorable Minister, Coal and Mines, Sri G. Kishan Reddy Garu, Additional Secretary, Madam Brar, Chairman Coal India, Prasad Garu, and all the distinguished delegates who are present here, representing the public sector units as well as private sector units. So today's session is very interesting, sharing the best practices which are being run by all of you, and also we have got from academia also, along with the CMFR Institute. So we need to see how we are going to take forward the topic which is there, the responsible mining and sustainable practices. So this reminds me, LIC का हम लोग बोलते हैं कि जिंदगी के साथ भी और जिंदगी के बाद भी. How do we bring that practice in mining? How can we ensure, the way Honorable Minister has mentioned, how do we ensure that during mining, we take care of our people, our community, and after mining, how do we take care of our people, both employees as well as communities? So I would like to bring your attention to some of the best practices. So first I would like to ask Sri Achyut Ghatak sir, that is Director Technical at CMPD. How are you with your experience? And also the only one request, we have got 10 minutes for each of the speakers. Please keep your discussion for 10 minutes.
Respected Minister of Coal and Mine, Respected Additional Secretary Ma'am, MOC, respected Chairman CIL, Joint Secretary MOC, esteemed members of the IMC, CMDs, CEOs, other dignitaries on and off the dais, and respected delegates. As Mr. Sundaraman said, Zindagi ke saath bhi, Zindagi ke baad bhi, I begin with the Zindagi ke baad bhi. Honorable Minister had mentioned the 6 R's of the closure. I have chosen the most important aspect of that part, which is repurposing. The outcome of this particular aspect, that is the repurposing, is the reclaim which has been unveiled today. And at the best I can say, what I am going to present is not a paper, this is the objective of our country, our organization, and every individual here. May I have the PPT, please? Till the time the PPT is ready, I would briefly run through my points. The crux of the story today is that mining sector contributes globally enormously towards the development of the country. But all these goods, they tend to fail the moment we choose for an unsustainable mining and not so environmentally mining practices. So what we therefore need is a structured, scientific, and a community-centric approach to all the mine closure activities, which ensures a long-term environmental sustainability, safeguards public health, and on above everything, it deters the illegal mining. This is one aspect that has generally been overlooked, but I would like to insist here. Once the community, surrounding community has some livelihood, it will definitely deter to big extent this particular part. In its revolutionary step, Ministry of Coal has initiated the Guidelines 2025, which specifically mentions mine repurposing. This shift from mine closure to mine repurposing encourages converting the abandoned mines into productive, safe, and ecologically resilient assets. I shall therefore focus on these 3 things, that is the community-centered approach, the mandates and their deliberation, and finally, the shifting from mining to the repurposing. Why this repurposing is important? As I have mentioned, it basically gives us an asset creation for future-oriented use and economic generation. As I had mentioned, the regulatory yes, please see the last point, which I will definitely take up here. This revolutionary step is going to open many doors in the future, but what definitely is required here is a further deliberation how to use this from a retrospective effect. Are there any other doables which we as a sector, as we as a legal entity, as we as a regulator have to do regarding the application from 2009 at least? Next slide, please. What you see on the left side is what we did in the past. That is, we used to just close the mine, green it, and the job over. But now, we are going beyond it. Just on the right side, you can see a triangle, a pyramid. The pyramid shows the volume and relevance of the closure. On the bottommost is the physical and chemical stability of the area, which has the highest volume but least relevance. Next is the public health and safety, bit smaller. Now please, previous slide, not yet. This transition where you see is written, below it is the no revenue zone, it is a non-compliance zone, but above is the revenue earning zone, a compliance zone, which shows the enhanced beneficial use the upgrading of the redevelopment and the repurposing, which is the apex of the apex of the pyramid. Next slide, please. Yes, this is the five-step uphill roadmap. On the base, as I had mentioned in the pyramid, is the physical and chemical stability. But let us go to the blue, green, and dark green. It says the creation of the asset. Enhanced beneficial use is nothing but creation of the asset. Then next is the redevelopment, upgrading it, and finally the repurposing. This is the arrowhead of sustainable, eco-restored, community-centered outcome. The arrowhead has three imperatives: repurposing of the land, livelihood transition through skill development, and finally the objective is the outcome, that is Zindagi ke baad bhi. These are current trends here, basically, but we are yet to reach beyond it in our country. To begin with, the first step is the mandate, Mine Closure Guidelines 2009, that mentioned of the first revolutionary step, that is the escrow account. Next is the value of those accounts, and 2019 the upgrading, and finally comes the watershed mandate, that is the mining for repurposing. This has further enhanced the expenditures, but what is here in this slide is the methodology which we may take for going ahead with the activity. We have dumps, the most distaste to the eye, which can be divided into two parts. The first part is the biological reclamation and revegetation. Second is the technically reclaimed area for future repurposing. The repurposings can be renewable energy use, industrial use, and the business infrastructure. The basic fundamental premise that should govern us is LURA, that is land use repurposing applications. There might be requirement of some legislations that the operators decommission or relinquish land for further use. Next is the global best practices. This is one unique best practice where in Turkey in 2015, an abandoned open cast coal mine was converted into an airport through PPP. By 2025, this year, it aims to create around 225,000 jobs and 40 billion plus euro to the Turkish economy cumulatively. This is the Thorsby colliery. This colliery was again closed in 2015 and was redeveloped into a community center, 800 homes, school, retirement village, and around 1,000 jobs. The old buildings were restored, 350-acre country park was created, and it hosted the first 5G connected forest. Next is the Indonesian Minasa Raya gold mine, which was closed in 2006. They have replanted it and developed into a eco-biological wonder with 155,000 trees. Next, what you see is also yet another unique effort, wherein in a pit, a 19-story hotel was created, of which 2 are below water. It was created by the UK firm Atkins for Shimao Group, and they have created a 5-star, they have planned to create a 5-star hotel which has 400 rooms. Next is the Valkenburg Wine and Energy Forest. It was an old mine which was converted into a wine producing yard and energy forest from which they could gain the bioenergy. This is the Coal India case study of Chendipada open cast mine, which is an old mine which was closed in 2014. The escrow had 6.44 crores, however, final closure accounted for about 11 crores. What did we gain? We will see in the next slide. Yes, the highlights of this project was, out of the 24.3 hectare mining lease, 13.6 hectare has been afforested, and the remaining unfilled void and slides have been developed into a water body. The external 3 hectare dump got self-vegetated. Now it's a wonderful bio-reclaimed, a wonderful bio ecosystem. This is the greening which you see of the old mine. The next slide will give you a further view. On the left is what you see is the old mine worked area. On your right is the green cover that has been created, the biodiversity park that has been created by Mahanadi. The area has been monitored post-closure, and the outcome was something amazing. I would skip the next slide and go to the next. These are some snapshots of the biodiversity that this has created. Black drongo, whistling duck, Indian cuckoo, Eurasian moon hens, common kingfishers, night heron, white ram, shama. These are the birds, some of them migratory in nature, have entered that area. Next. These are some other efforts by Coal India and its subsidiaries. They are the ecotourism parks of various subsidiaries. We have 33 of them. Next slide. This is the coal neer plant at WCL. Then on the side we have these orchards, the sand clarification plant, the fisheries that we have created in CCL and SCCL. Yes, I would quickly jump to the last slide. Other than that, next slide please. The mine purposing to us is just not an environmental obligation, but it is an opportunity for the society and for Coal India and all those who are employed in the mining sector. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Ghatak sir. I think you have shared both the best practices of Coal India as well as the international best practices. As we always say that when you go for a surgery, whatever the best the surgeon is, if he leaves with a big scar on our body, we feel a bit sad. That's what I think for even mining also. Whatever best mining we do, end of the day, if you leave the pits the same way, and if you don't do a rehabilitation, reforestation, the communities feel very sad. So that's the reason yesterday there was a discussion that we have good practices, but why the perception outside mining community is that we are not so good at sustainable mining practices. I think everyone has the responsibility to see that how the rehabilitation, reforestation, and the purpose beyond the mining is being met. With that, I would request Mr. Prasanna Kumar, CMD NLC, for sharing his thoughts on this. So thank you very much, Ghatak sir. Thank you very much for sharing your thoughts.
Good morning. Andariki namaskaram. As you know, energy is the basic driving force for the growth story of the country. Here is the company which contributed almost more than 7 decades in the growth story of the country. We were the first integrated energy company in the country, contributing to the growth story of the country. Next.
Drink their own water. Not trees eat their own fruits. Clouds also do not consume grains produced by their water. nature provides for us, we must also provide for nature. Protecting and caring for Mother Earth is our fundamental responsibility. Mother Nature does not favor a fragmented approach. She prefers Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam, one earth, one family, one future.
In line with what the communication from Honorable Prime Minister, for maintaining sustainability, we should be having a comprehensive approach, not a fragmented approach. I think that is the reason we are all here. I wish the conference a great success in the direction of vision of Honorable Prime Minister. NLC, since beginning, even when there were no rules and regulations for reclamation and repurposing, we gave first priority to sustainability. That is the reason why the friendly mining is being done. Next. Till today, no mine of NLCAL is closed, but in the progressive mine closing activities, we are taking lead and setting an example in the country by topsoil preservation, technical reclamation, biological reclamation, and sustainable repurposing. Next. Until now, out of 5,000 hectares of land we mined, we reclaimed 2,600 hectares of land with using innovative techniques of ecosystem recovery and also afforestation initiatives. More than 2 crores saplings are planted with the natural spaces and with community engagement. Next. In addition to the mine closing activity, for maintaining sustainability, NLCIL is leader in a renewable sector. We were the first company in the country to add 1 gigawatt capacity and targeting to increase it 8 times by 2030. And already 2 gigawatt are in pipeline and 3 gigawatt are in planning. And also we are setting up a pilot project of green hydrogen in Neyveli area and also aggressively entering into battery storage system and pump storage system for renewable integration. Next. In addition to that, waste to wealth, which is required for sustainability, we are doing M-sand production from the overburden. From lignite, many chemicals are being extracted for ensuring the sustainability. And also, recently, one of the statue called Jai Hind statue, prepared from waste, that is installed near new Parliament building to depict usage of reuse of the precious resources. Next. As Honorable Minister mentioned, we are maintaining utilization of water in the state of Tamil Nadu. We are supplying water for 25,000 acres of land, and we are supplying huge quantity of water for Chennai city as a drinking water. Next. Next. In addition to the sustainable activities, we are empowering the community by involving them in all the mine closing activities and sustainable mining activities, and also doing CSR activities in such a way that people are with us in taking forward the sustainable initiative. Next. And this biodiversity and ecosystem management, we are planning since inception, and because of that, we have developed 2 eco parks. And while developing these parks, we are maintaining the native tree plantations and biodiversity zones, green corridors are prepared. And the main indication for restoration of ecology is arrival of birds. We spotted more than 140 varieties of birds, many of birds of extinguished category, to visit Neyveli after we restore the greenery.
Friends, coal and mining sector is one of the backbone of our modern economy and will prove to be vital pillars of the Vikasit Bharat as the Prime Minister vision.
So, to take forward the sustainable activity, normal course of actions are not sufficient. We should be having some innovative practices. We are having research wing where various innovative practices of sustainability are established and implemented. And we are having full-fledged corporate environmental department to continuously follow up these activities. Next. And today, from the Ministry of Coal, the Mission Green is inaugurated. So, we are doing all these activities since long. We are now focusing on sustainable practices in line with the Mission Green. Next. So, NLCA leads in all clean energy initiatives, starting from the sustainable mine progressive closing activities, and we are targeting to reach net zero by 2030. In fact, in all our operations, already we reached net zero. As in mining, we consume 1.3 billion units, whereas we are developing green power of 2.3 billion units. Recently, NLC launched its mascot, Neon, NLC and Lion. Let us hear from that.
Hi, I'm Neon, NLC India's very own mascot. I roam around the mines, keeping a watchful eye on everything. I inspect the thermal plants to make sure they're running smoothly and safely. I live right here in the township, where the community grows strong. And guess what? I thrive in renewables too, because a cleaner, greener future is what we all need. Come join me on this journey towards power, progress, and sustainability. Together, we shine bright.
Next. Thank you. Thank you, the organizers, for giving me the opportunity. And exactly, I maintain 10 minutes.
Thank you. Thank you, Prasanna Garu. I think you have finished dot on time, and I think one more round of applause for him for respecting the time. So, waste to wealth as well as water stewardship have been the highlights of your presentation, as well as implementing Mission Green. I think commendable job being done by NLC under your leadership, sir. Taking forward, Professor Arvind Kumar Mishra, who is also an experience of more than 3 decades spanning academia, industry and research. So we would like to hear from you, and also you have been guiding many mines for mine closure, proper mine closure. So we would like to learn from the lessons which you are going to teach us.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Pleasant good afternoon to everyone present here. The most respected
Thank you,
Rupinder
Prasanna Garu.
Madam,
Thank you very much.
Additional Secretary, Ministry of Coal, Chairman Coal India, Sri PM Prasad ji, and all other distinguished industry leaders from PSUs as well as private industries and practitioners. Indeed, it's my privilege and honor that I have been provided this opportunity. Can I have the presentation, please? Presentation. So very briefly, this presentation, I will be discussing about the global practices, Indian practices, what CSIR SIMFER has taken up the initiatives in terms of S&T intervention, R&D, and in restoration and sustainability, what are we doing, and the roadmap or the way forward. So I'm sorry, I think they are just looking up the presentation, waiting for them.
So there is a small guidance that we should further reduce time to catch up for other sessions and also for lunch. So I think people who are putting up the presentations, please put up the presentation in advance.
extremely sorry for some technical issue.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I got in. Okay, thank you. Thank you very much. Just I'll skip this. 5 minutes gone off. 5 minutes left off. So I need not to talk about the mine closure as it has been talked so much from since morning. So I'll just skip all that. Some of the examples of global best practices which has been talked about Sri Ajit Ghatakji. This Flambeau mine from USA. These are some of the examples from Australia. This from West Virginia, USA. Similarly, we have got a few successful initiatives which have been done in the country. These are some of the examples for final mine closure of Pathagara, WCL, and of Piparwar mine, CCL, the initiatives which had been taken up, reclamation initiatives. These are some of the pictures from Singareni Collieries, as well as from Southeastern Coalfield Limited, Jamuna, OCP, and NLC, Northern Coalfields Limited, ECL, BCCL. So these are few successful initiatives. These are few successful initiatives which have been taken up in terms of the renewable park being put up on the overburden dumps. And as we have discussed since morning, there are many challenges to take care of the mine closure, and these challenges need to be looked up as an opportunities, and these are the opportunities for transformation in terms of mines to be converted into green assets, developing the renewable energy hubs, revitalizing the local economies, enhancing the environmental quality, and aligning with just transition and net zero as well. The major challenge we do have is effective engagement, and for effective engagement of the communities, we need to have the facilitation services, wherein we need to have the service provider so that they can be effectively engaged, and we need to have the data-driven tools with which the more transparent way we will be in a position to engage with the community and the kind of trust which is being looked upon. And while designing the mine closure, the co-designing and partnership is required from all the stakeholders, including the community, wherein the skill development and the capability development, and then providing the livelihood. Similarly, for waste reduction, selective mining, so far as metalliferous mining is concerned, repurposing of the mineral waste, as well as resource recovery. The percentage recovery need to be enhanced by intervention of the technology, and recycling of the non-mineral waste, decommissioning of the infrastructure at the closure of the mine. Next. Next slide, please. Physical stability after mine closure, the stability of the area, slope engineering. So various technological interventions need to be looked upon. Pollutant management, hydrological systems, the water restoration at the mine closed or the after closure of the mine, and modeling tools for tracking the biodiversity, topsoil treatment, native seed sourcing, as well as very recently we have taken up a R&D project on native microorganisms or microbes which will be helping the native plantation and the weed removal systems. Next slide. And these are post-closure land uses, identify viable post-mining uses in terms of its economical regeneration for the livelihood of the displaced or the community, income generation through the repurposed land, socio-economic upliftment of job creation, and working with the communities to build the trust. That is what is more so important for the Indian mining industry. Next one. Next, please. Yeah, repurposing, there are various options available for repurposing. One is the energy. We can have energy options, wherein the energy storage, it can be the pump storage, hydropower, or pump underground storage, hydropower, or the renewable energy, where it can be solar and wind, waste disposal, landfill, or biochar or biomass to be used for the sustainable aviation fuel or methanol or ethanol, so which will be providing in the clean energy to the country. And eco-friendly alternatives wherein the pit lag or wherein the pisciculture or water reservoir can be created, the eco-tourism or the mining tourism or horticulture. Next one. These are some of the initiatives which we took in. We have got the specialization in soil stabilization, improving the soil fertility, water retention, promoting biodiversity, as well as the culture of microbes for sustaining that. Next one. These are some of the examples which we did for limestone belt of Sirmoor with the intervention way back in 1996 we started this. Please, next one. These are some examples, please, next. Next one. So with the CSIR SIMFER intervention, this is what is the reclamation which had been done at various sites in various locations, and including coal as well as non-coal both. Next. As well as in mine water, we do have a research group exclusively working on the mine water management, wherein the wastewater being converted into potable water and being supplied to the community. Next one. This is one plant which we did with BCCL. Next one. So change of mindset is the convert challenges to opportunities for the mining industry. Stakeholders, collaboration. All stakeholders need to be included together while framing the policies, and their confidence and trust building is the most important one, wherein the industry is doing a lot, but unfortunately the society perception is it's not being done enough. So that need to be changed. Community engagement and post closure of the mine, the livelihood of the community and neighborhood is very, very important, which we are doing, but unfortunately not being communicated to the society in a big way, and we must prioritize the innovative approaches for mine closure. So with this, I come to the end. Thank you very much. I'm sorry for exceeding the time by 1 minute or so.
Thank you, Professor Mishra sir. You have been given that benefit because of that presentation skill. Please.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much for the blue book which you have presented, as well as the way CSR SIMFER is helping the mines in scientific mine closure. Thank you very much. Now I would like to welcome Shri N. Balram. He is an IRS officer and is chairman and managing director of Singareni Collieries. For the knowledge of all the delegates, Singareni produces almost 70 million tons. It is the second biggest coal producing company in India after Coal India. Over to you, sir.
Very good morning, respected Madam and CCO, Vajpayee sir and senior officers, and all the delegates from all the industries, policymakers, researchers, and friends from the mining sector.
Sir, request you to be a bit louder.
Yes, yes. I mean, I will close before.
No, a bit louder also.
Sure. So, sustainable and responsible mining through best mine closure practices in India. So, as Singareni Collieries Company Limited, so we are giving a lot of importance to the mining and ecosystem. And Singareni Collieries is spread across 6 districts of Telangana. And recently we have started our coal block in Naini. And we are also having JV with Rajasthan for solar and thermal. Next. And these are mining methods we all know. Next. Next. And the company has diversified into thermal and solar. And we are going to become a net zero company by December 2025 with the installation of 450 megawatts. Already we have done 250 megawatts, and other projects are on a speedy basis. Next. Sustainable mining operation involves minimization of environment, economic and social impact during the extraction of the natural resources without compromising with the potential needs of the future generations. So Singareni is also committed to the objective of the sustainable growth, and we are also rethinking the mining life cycle, how to protect the ecosystem. And see, as yesterday evening Ms. Brahman was mentioning, so we'll do a lot of activities, and we are I tell the example. Ramagundam was having the temperature of around 50 degrees 10 years back. Today, it has come down to 45 to 40 degrees. 5 degrees reducing is not a small joke or a example. And when the temperature going soaring across the globe, but Singareni could do its best practices. Even we have done plantation over the 7 crores plantation we have done. And sometimes when we talk to government or forest department, the survival rate they say is 30%, but we are maintaining 80% plus. And sometime every year we are targeting around 40 to 50 lakhs plantation sapling. Sometime I do get doubt, and I got it audited by our own department. So this shows how importance we are giving to the mining activities. And not only we are into mining, and other vacant lands we are putting solar, and water bodies, big water bodies, we are going for the pumped storage hydropower plant, and we got 2 thermal power plant. So whatever the emissions being released into the air, we are going to capture, and we are going to generate the methanol, and other coal gasifications and other diversification project we are taking with the guidance of the Ministry of Coal. Next. And these are the plantation things what we have done, and as a human being, something happens to them, they give a lot of importance to them. If somebody goes to a temple or to a astrologer, somebody in problem, they say कि आप पशुओं को और पक्षियों को you give some feed, grain or something, you give it. But as a religious thing, we are doing best mining practices. For example, in Singareni College Company Limited, for bringing an ecosystem within Singareni and the coal belt areas, we have started the protection for the reptiles. We have also established butterfly parks, honeybee parks, and not only parks, the species which attract to them also we have done it. And as part of the Vana Mahotsav and Government of India's program for establishing the water bodies, we have, in this financial year, we have created 62 water bodies, and the existing 45 water bodies we have rejuvenated. And we have also adopted one village, Penagadapa, providing all the health infrastructure, creating water bodies, solar lights, library, integration of welfare program with the government, both state and central, and adopting the government schools, buildings, building the green walls, everything we are doing. And personally, I am a green warrior. I have planted 19,000 plus saplings, and we take the drive with a lot of enthusiasm. And we also created 36 mini forests. Yesterday, we have seen one forest being created at Heartfulness Kanha Ashramam. So it was very good. But a similar 36 forest I can show in Singareni College Company Limited. So I invite media or whenever our industry friends around the Singareni, you all can see. And so today, we have to go according to the situation. If somebody completes the presentation within time, he is the efficient person. Somebody who speaks a lot, they are good. And concluding, let us seize this moment, this convergence of minds and missions to make bold and lasting commitment that every mine, regardless of its size or location, we have a closer plan that is technically sound, socially just, and environmentally restorative. Let the mine closure activity become a source of hope, not hardship. Let us forge strong collaborations across the public and private sectors to build a global culture where closure is not the end, but a new beginning. Together, let us heal the land, empower the communities, and ensure our coal fields, once silent, continue to give life to ecosystems, to enterprise, and to generations that follow. And let this conference be remembered not only for the conversations we share, but for the actions we ignite. Because together we can make this transition not just sustainable, but truly transformational. Thank you. Jai Hind.
Thank you, Balram Garu. I think you are also well within the time. So the battery energy storage, green hydrogen, as well as reduction of the temperature by making almost 62 water ponds, as well as huge plantation in and around Singareni colonies. I think the best practices which you have shared, let's have a big applaud for Sri Balram Garu for the initiatives they have taken in Singareni colonies. So we have now seen PSUs and the state PSUs. Now we will move to private partners, what they have done in mine closure. So over to Anurag Dishit for sharing best practices at West Bokaro.
So my good morning, good afternoon, everyone. My presentation is from the West Bokaro as well as from the little bit from the other mining like iron ore.
Non-coal as well.
Yeah.
Okay.
Non-coal as well, and underground also.
But within that time, please.
Yeah. So next slide, please. So these are some of these are the locations of the mine. We will not go into that because the time is there. We are located in Jharkhand and Odisha. Coal mines are in Jharkhand. Next slide. So we know one thing that once the mine is doing its excavation, the OB is to be brought back. So this is one thing that which becomes the part of the reclamation. Other thing what we especially we do in the our West Bokaro, that we have got ash also. So that bottom ash which gets available from the power plant, that gets added to the OB on the top of it. So it works as a nutrient value later on for the plantation. And then topsoil for the plantation point of view. And initially, I'll tell you, normally these OBs are inert. They don't have any nutrients. So that is why first level what we do is that there's a geotextile, both in iron ore or in coal, or otherwise we do some grassing activity. Yeah, next. So these are the steps for the reclamation. So once you do the grassing, initially 1 year and all with one monsoon, this grass grows very fast and provides little bit of stability to the slopes. And after the monsoon, during summer, it gets mulched. So it becomes a natural fertilizer for the subsequent plantation, which are like native plantation and all. Yeah, next. There are other things also, something like seed balling and all, which we encourage children during just before monsoons. Just go back some of the pictures. The school children are brought and they are given those seed balls to throw randomly over these areas. So thousands of seed balls are prepared during summer, and these children, they love to throw those balls, seed balls in the barren land or like OB area. So these germinate the plant over there. Yeah, next. When we do this plant reclamation, around the same area, lot of greenery is developed, which we'll show you later. Within that area, we have developed a biogas plant, which comes from the municipal waste. So it creates around 1 ton per day capacity, and it produces 80 cubic meters of gas, which goes back to one of our security barracks as for the cooking purposes. And compost plant, which produces compost, which comes from these leaf falls and all, and becomes the manure for this plant. Because such a large area, when you do reclamation, these are also the requirements so that you can sustain even the reclamation part of it. So these are some of the features which we use for the reclamation, sustenance of the reclamation itself. Yeah, next. So these are some of those pictures when the children, they do their plantation, and backside the barren area, that is the area where we do that seed ball throwing and all by the children. And we encourage people, locals and other industries also. We come together in the month of January for the annual flower and vegetable shows. We create some of the insignias over there, but primarily this entire show is created by the local industries, local farmers, and small help group, these self-help groups. And we just create these insignias where the people come and showcase their good practices, and vegetables and other things they showcase. So that the people become very much aware and conscious about the nature, and there is an encouragement to them while they carry the saplings and other things to their home or in their local gardens or the villages. Yeah, next. For the preservation of water, lot of work is there. One is that rainwater harvesting, which is done in our small scale. Couple of rainwater structures are there in our iron ore mines, and one very large rainwater harvesting, as well as you can call it a mine collection pit, which is like a 7.16 million cubic meter water storage. In our bottom right picture, you can see this is the Pundi mine. Pundi mine was actually developed by Sundar Saab in early 90s when he was there as a young mining engineer, and we had an opportunity to reclaim it through this water body here. I am proud to say that, announce that in 1.5 years we have stopped taking any water from the river. And this year, after running for 3 seasons or 2 summer seasons, this year, post summer season, we have surrendered our water drawl permission to the government to showcase that yes, we are sufficient and we don't need any water from the river. Yeah, next. These are some of the other methods, like in Noah Mandi mine, we have done entire greenery on the dumps, and on the top of the canopy of the dump is used for the 3 megawatt power plant. In West Bokaro, we are trying to developing a case for the 40 megawatt solar power plant on the canopy of these dumps, reclaimed dumps. Next. These are some of the very important things. Offline also people can be in touch with us. We do sal regeneration of sal plantation. Sal is a very difficult plant, if anybody knows. It's very difficult to germinate, but a lot of effort has gone. These sal seeds, when they fall from the tree, these are collected within the same day, and within 24 hours they need to be germinated. This is how it is done. So last 5 years this project has been running, and we can say that now with the 82% of the survival rate, the sal also can be generated in artificial forest. Yeah, next. So this geotextile I have already mentioned. The vetiver plantation is another thing which we have in our some of the very difficult slopes, because this vetiver goes inside the soil or the OB dump quite 2 meter and 2.5 meter below the surface, and creates a weaving pattern. So there is a very good stability through this vetiver plantation over the soil, over the slopes, OB slopes. Yeah, next. The tree transplantation in some of the areas where that strata is pretty hard, the typical tree transplanter cannot dig in. So there it is like a partially manually, partially with the crane. This is how the tree transplantation is done. Yeah, next. So these are some of the greenery pictures and all. We encourage locals to participate in all our reclamation activity, because as Honorable Minister was mentioning, the people are also important in the reclamation part of it, in mine closure. Yeah, next. So some of the pictures over there. Yeah, next. These are some of the pictures over one of the parks which we have developed. Yeah, next. Next, this is Nakshatra Park. Recently we have developed it. Yeah, next. Yeah, one thing that even around the mines, the villagers are encouraged to give their land for the plantation. So these mango plantation is done in their area. 3 years we develop those mango orchards. Once they start bearing fruits, the orchard is handed over to the same guy to reap the benefits of the fruits. Yeah, next. So these are some of the other things like biochar and all. In Jharia we are doing bamboo plantation for the biochar. Yeah. Some of the environmental things, LNG, EV. Yeah, next. So I think I can close here. Thank you.
Thank you, Anurag, for the best practices which are being practiced both at West Bokaro and Novamundi of Tata Steel. So one thing I would like to tell all the audience, because generally we have a tendency to reinvent the wheel. But if you want to make the best practices immediately implementable, we should be shamelessly copying the best practices of others. Then we will also save time, and also we appreciate others' practices. With that, I would request now Mr. Sajesh Kumar to share his thoughts, because the introduction has already been done by Mr. Kantara. So I would not like to repeat that. So please, yeah, he has mentioned dangerous men, but here he would tell us what this is our balanced scorecard, what we had done, what is the expectation of government and coal controller, and what is to be done. I think, sir, my request is you please tell us what is to be done, because we are very happy doing something, but it is not enough.
So thank you so much, and a very good afternoon to everyone. You have heard about the practitioner's point of view on repurposing and mine closure. So I'm actually giving a policymaker or a regulator point of view. And I'm actually giving an overarching presentation. Frameworks are very important because that's how you scale up your initiative. Next. So why is mine closure important? Everybody knows in terms of the coal sector in India, we have about 575 mines. It covers about 3.6 lakh hectares of land. And it affects about 5 million people. We need to restore the land back so that we take care of the environment. We also take care of the people around it. This is before January 2025, before the ministry issued the new guidelines. The focus was mainly on the technical and the biological reclamation of the land. There was no provision for repurposing plan. There was no mapping of the proper land contours and landscape. Community engagement and the development was seldom part of the repurposing or the mine closure plan. After January 2025, we have created a framework which is much more comprehensive. It goes beyond the technical and biological reclamation, aims to transform the lives through what we call as lives, and I will tell you what lives means. It includes the repurposing plan, and it also includes the community engagement and the development as a continuous process. This is embracing lives and transforming minds through lives. Land, all of you know that it is land and the technical reclamation. And there is an integral part of integrated community engagement and the empowerment. And there's a viable post-closure, what you call as repurposing, and an ecosystem rehabilitation. And those initiatives needs to be sustained through localized leadership. Some of the glimpses of the mine closure activities, and I just run you through, you're familiar with it. What you actually see here as an overarching theme is most of it is related to the land and the biological reclamation. Now, can we go beyond that? Can we think big, have one idea or a theme that can have an impact and that can be scalable and that can be replicable? You need to create those models. Towards this effort, the ministry has actually identified 147 mines to be closed in a time-bound manner in the next three and a half years. We already closed 10 mines, and that's happening for the first time in the independent India's history. Community engagement and the integrated community development has been made part of the plan itself. Minimum 25% of the mine closure cost shall be expended for community development related projects, which was not there before. We are looking at creating impactful, scalable, and replicable projects and driving innovations in mine closure and the repurposing. What are the strategies? And before looking at the strategies, we are all familiar with the challenges. There's a lot of issues regarding the capacity. There's issues regarding the technical support. There are actually issues regarding the financing. There are issues regarding driving leadership and innovation in mine closure. So how do we achieve that? And that's the strategic framework. More importantly, you need to understand that that little thing what you do actually at the ground level has got an alignment with an overarching global transformatory goal that is aligning with the sustainable development goals. If you look at, you would identify that minimum 11 to 12 of the goals which you have as part of SDG is strongly aligned with your mine closure. So you're actually having a larger responsibility towards the society and towards the global target. Next. How do you create a ESG framework for mine closure? This is also important. Coal is considered to be highly polluting as a sector. Can you flip that story? And for that, you need to create an ESG framework. These are actually, mine closure is the ESG touch point for the entire mining ecosystem. Can you create an environmental framework where land rehabilitation, water treatment, all those things are taken care of? Can you really think of a social framework where community resettlement, the indigenous communities' interest, and the entrepreneurship, livelihood, those aspects are taken care of? And governance, can you have a transparent system? Can you have a closure compliances? Can you have a third-party auditing and reporting system which is pretty transparent? And how do you involve actually the local communities in that transformative process? Next. Driving changes through leadership, I don't have to explain at the organization level, at the localized level, how do you actually make this as a mission and as a movement forward? Next, strengthening community engagement and the development, and it is very important. We have just released the Reclaim framework. It's all about identifying the pain points in the people's life. the mine closure plan and the repurposing plan as we conceive today are actually top to bottom. Can we actually flip it and make it bottom up approach? How do you engage with the citizen? How do you identify the pain points in the people's life? How do you co-create the ideas with them? How do you projectivize them? How do you implement with them? And how do you make the entire local participative ecosystem as part of the mine closure transformative process? Next. So I will skip reclaim. You are aware of it. Next. Strengthening the technical support, the capacity building, the capacity at the institutional level. How do you, whether you have the technical support and the capacity integrated with your organization. Can you have a MOU or a special purpose vehicle for driving that kind of change? And the capacity building at the individual level. Are people sensitized about the community requirement or the environmental requirement? You need to think in terms of that. You need to create a peer group learning platform where actually people share the knowledge and adapt the best practices, not to reinvent the wheel every time. Next. Leveraging the financial option. As I told you that, you should understand that you are in a sector where the highly capital intensive, you are in a very uncertain regulatory framework. You are also in what you call as long gestation period in terms of the top line revenue is concerned. In that scenario, how do you actually provide some kind of a certainty? How do you leverage some of the financial, innovative financing models you have? Can you access the carbon credit? Can we create one model where actually the coal sector is accessing the climate fund or the carbon credit finance? Or you do the land monetization or some kind of a value capture financing? Next. This is a extent of the potential we have. If you do the carbon acquisition, the total carbon credit you can actually encash is about, there's a calculation which we did, 557 million USD for next 20 years. Can we access some of it? There's a mechanism for the carbon credit encashment. How do we mechanize it? Next. Again, can we access the green climate funding as a sustainable source of financing and flip the narrative of coal sector being highly polluting and not being amenable for funding by the financial institutions, both globally and domestically? How do we do the value capture financing? When you are actually investing so much of money, the value in and around the land is going to go up. Can you capture a part of it and recapitalize it for sustainable project? And that's a great challenge and framework you need to work on. Can we have something like tax incremental development finance mechanism, which some of the places people implement for taking up infrastructure project? Can you think in terms of having some kind of an INVIT model or trust model where a lot of financiers come together towards a common objective and they pool the resources and they apportion the risk? Next. How do you create that mechanism? Next. How do you drive innovation? It's very important. We have already seen that, there are about afforestation, mine closure, technical reclamation. Can we go beyond that? Can we have some of the iconic projects which we can showcase to the whole of the world? One example of that is actually whether we can convert mines to bytes into data center. Next. The market potential, it's about 364.5 billion global market. It's growing at a rate of 51% CAGR. Can we create some of the mechanism where which we can actually convert some of the closed mines into data centers? Because in case of data center, the most important aspect is actually availability of land, reliable power supply, and skilled manpower. And if you do that, because in a mining land, you have actually land at the cheaper rate, and you actually have the power supply, which is already inbuilt. When you give a power backup, it basically becomes a tier 4 data center. And the capital cost comes down drastically by 35 to 40%. Can we think of some idea, at least in one or two places, if we can implement and showcase to the world? This is the economy of scale that can work. And the biggest data center in India is actually of 50 megawatt, and that's in Navi Mumbai. And 40 hectares of the land can be converted into a data center. You can actually create a capacity of 250 megawatt. Think new, think innovatively. Can you have structuring of the financial model for doing that? Partnership model, vendor model. If you want to drive the innovations in large scale, having some kind of a JV model. Convergence with the other government schemes. You need to identify what are the service level gaps existing in the communities in and around the mine closure. Instead of doing everything by yourself, can you converge your purpose with actually different government schemes which is already existing? And that's a great challenge, and you need to have a framework for that. Next. And how do you then benchmark your initiative? A lot of initiatives, bits and pieces coming up. Can you benchmark to the best international practices level and apply for some awards, standardization, so that everybody can actually emulate and replicate that as a model? And finally, It's about creating the leaders and the champions. One among you can be that champion who can actually create that change, which become more sustainable, impactful, scalable, and replicable. And that initiative become a movement. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Sri Satish Kumar ji. I think you have now given the perspective from the coal controller as well as Government of India, how the regulatory regime is there and where we are. I think the way you mentioned the aligning mining closure part with ESG goals, I think that is the, you can say, the best thing which we could do, and also that would also show the results immediately. Second, the capacity building, and third is financial options, which none of us have covered. You have mentioned about financial options. That is a big, I think, eye-opener for us. And the way you used lives as acronym, I think that is laudable. If you implement these lives, definitely the community lives after mine closure would be much better. Thank you very much for that, and I thank all the speakers. Because of paucity of time, I'm sorry to announce that we are not keeping any question answer session. But yes, after the next session, there would be question and session, or after lunch, when we start the third session, there will be question and session. So I appreciate all the speakers for giving their time, and also all the participants also for patient hearing. Thank you all.
Yes, thank you so much. Ma'am, may I request you to please come and do the honors. Ladies and gentlemen, may I request you all to please join your hands as we present the mementos to all our panel members. Our moderator, Shri D.B. Sundararamam Sir VP Tata Steel, Shri Achyut Ghatak, Director Technical, Coal India Limited. As I read out the names, I request you all to show some love and energy, everyone, please. Shri M. Prasanna Kumar, CMD, NLC India Limited. Professor Arvind Kumar Mishra, Director, CIMFR, CSIR. And Shri N. Balram Garu, IRS, CMD, SCCL. Shri Anurag Dikshit, Sir. And then Shri Sajish Kumar, Sir, Coal Controller. Thank you so much, sir, for the amazing session. I hope you had wonderful insights on the session, and now we are moving ahead for the next session. So it says India's non-coal mining sector is adopting innovative, sustainable practices to ensure responsible resource extraction and land restoration. Companies like Lloyds Metals, Vedanta, Hindalco, NMDC, and institutions like IIT, ISM are showcasing successful models of green mining, progressive mine reclamation, and holistic sustainability, balancing mineral development with environmental care and community welfare. To do the session and to be the moderator, I would request, with a huge round of applause, let's welcome Shri Vivek Kumar Bajpai, sir, with a huge round of applause, please, who's a 1999 batch IRSME officer, Joint Secretary in the Ministry of Mines, Government of India, playing a key role in the policy making for sustainable mineral development, promoting best practices and driving efficiency in the India's mining sector. Joining him, I request the panel members. Ladies and gentlemen, beginning with Shri Prabhakaran sir, give a big round of applause as I welcome him. The Managing Director of Triveni Earth Movers Private Limited and Lloyds Metals Energy Limited is a visionary leader in India's mining and metals sector with decades of entrepreneurial excellence. He is joining a little later, all right. May I request Ms. Leena Berenkar, please put your hands together. The head of CSR at Vedanta Limited. Yes, she's here. Gentlemen, can we give a big round of applause for the lady here? Thank you. She's the head of CSR at Vedanta's Limited, Sesa Goa Iron Ore Division, which is an accomplished sustainability professional with 27 years of experience with an MSc in microbiology and a PG diploma in environment. She champions impactful community development initiatives. Also, may I request Shri Bijesh Jaji, the President and Head of Bauxite and Coal at Hindalco, give a big round of applause as I welcome him, the seasoned mining leader with more than over 3 decades of experience, an IIT ISM alumnus. Ladies and gentlemen, help me welcome Shri Jaypal Reddy, who is the Executive Director at NMDC Limited, Hyderabad, overseeing resource planning, R&D, mine planning, environment production and safety, who plays a key role in driving NMDC's strategic growth and sustainability initiatives in the mining sector. It's my absolute pleasure to invite Professor Biswajit Paul. Please put your hands together as I welcome him, a mining engineering graduate and a PhD from IIT ISM Dhanbad, who's a renowned expert in mining environment. He heads the Center of Mining Environment at IIT and serves as an independent director of Tamil Nadu Minerals Limited. Joining him is Shri Piyush Narayan Sharma Garu. Huge round of applause for the Controller General of the Indian Bureau of Mines. Ladies and gentlemen, he is a seasoned mining professional who has served IBM since 1997, renowned for driving innovation. He has pioneered sustainable practices and advanced technology integration in the Indian mining sector. Over to you, sir. Vipul Kumar, sir, is the moderator, so thank you so much, sir.
Since morning, a lot has been spoken about sustainable and responsible mining, and there is no doubt about it, because as the demand for key minerals is increasing to support the growth of the country, there is a need to have more and more exploration and mining activity. But on the other hand, we have to be responsible. We have to ensure that there has to be minimum damage to our environment while we carry out any exploration or mining activity. The importance of all these initiatives has already been spoken about, but here in this session, we have a more detailed perspective from the initiatives being taken from the non-coal sector. So in this panel, we have representatives from the industry. We have Sri Jha from Hindalco, please. And then we have Madam Leena from Vedanta. We have one more representative from Lloyd. He is just about to join the discussions. We also have representative from RPSU NMDC Limited, Mr. Reddy. We have in this panel representation from our institution, IIT ISM Dhanbad, Sri Paul. And then Sri Piyush Narayan Sharma ji, he is CG IBM. So we have mixed bag in which there are going to be perspective from the industry, perspective from our institutions, and then from IBM, in which he will speak about the initiatives taken by Government of India, Ministry of Mines, to support and promote sustainable mining practices. So, to start the discussion, I will first request Sri Jha to please speak about the initiatives taken by Messrs. Hindalco to promote mine closure activity and sustainable mining. Sri Jha.
Good afternoon to all of you. I'm really delighted to be here to present the session which is not important for today's scenario but also the future generation to be coming up. And it is very important for Hindalco's perspective as well as what we have done for this because time is very limited and so 7 minutes I shall take for the presentation and remaining 2 minutes for the video, one small video will be really reflection on for all of us how we have done for the really in the sense of at the site. So next, please. So as we know that in my presentation we have divided in 4 categories that what we are doing for the our mining operation in India with the coal and bauxite. Second one is the related our mine closure activities, what we have really done at site. And third one, we have framed a sustainable mine charter so that how systematically we can open the mine and close the mine from the first day of the opening of the mine. And last one was our commitment to for the society, that is the greener, stronger, and smarter future. So here the business flow that we have only this Hindalco, as we know, is the big company, flagship company of the Aditya Birla Group, and our this approach is a 5 approach basically. That is the beyond whatever the activities we are doing for the mining related, especially it is beyond the legislative norms requirement. Second one, the ecological restoration since beginning it is our mind, and third one, what things we are doing for the biodiversity and the community where we operate our mine, how well-being the community will be post closure of the mine, and later on what is the sustainable approach over the mine, how we approach to the mine. So here this business flow chain, as we know that we are the aluminum producer, so that bauxite and the coal is bauxite is the raw material and coal is also for making the aluminum. So here from bauxite we go go for the aluminum refinery, and later on from coal we go for the smelter for the aluminum, and we have the value chain added products of the roll chain, this aluminum foil, etc. So that we have seen our aluminum and coal sector book also that we have the Honorable Minister had launched today. This is the small existence in all over the India, our coal and bauxite. We are also coming up with 4 coal projects. 2 are in operation, 4 are under the process of operation, and we have existence in all of this most of the states, that is Madhya Pradesh, Jharkhand, Odisha, Chhattisgarh, and this Maharashtra. These mines are not in operation, but because of the Belgavi plant, we are going to take the lease. Next. So this is the Hindalco's mine closure land restoration and reclamation. So that we'll see that land restoration we are doing since the beginning of the opening of the mine, and biodiversity, ecotourism, and water stewardship, that all our mines are water positive, whether it is bauxite and coal, and green development what we have done, and the plantation also. Next. This is the land restoration practice. So in bauxite, because of the shallow deposit of the bauxite, so we do the reclamation since beginning. That is a simultaneous backfilling of the sequential backfilling. That is, we extract the bauxite from one place, and in the same pit we are also dumping the tops, waste material. Later on spreading the topsoil in this. And the plantation, here you can see whatever the plantation we have done, and because most of the mines are operated in Jharkhand, so there is a practice to return the land to the actual hair of the land, so that we restore the land and return for the agriculture purpose. Next. So this is the before mining, the bauxite is normally barren land, and the post mining you can easily, it is better to visualize than to explain what we have done for the after mining, the restoration of the land you can easily say. Next, please. So this is the land restoration and reclamation what we are doing, and the post reclamation, the water body, because the bottom bench of the bauxite is the impervious, so rainwater harvesting is very easy for that. And for that, some of the photographs you can see how we have progressed from the initial day to the last day. Next. This is the biodiversity conservation we have created in our one of the mine in Jharkhand, 3 hours journey from Ranchi. That is the Bagru Hill bauxite mine that can be available in the mines, ministry website also, that we have created how evited restoration in entire of the mine, because after 3-4 years this mine will be closed. Before that we have already started 5 years back. Next please. This is the steps towards the ecotourism at Bagru. Nowadays we are now enforcing people to not to come because of the DGMS requirement, the mining area, the people should not visit. But this, after creation of such type of biodiversity ecotourism, the people are coming from the different corner of the Jharkhand district, and you can see how the things have been created at after the extraction of the bauxite from the face. Next. So this is the biodiversity, our Samri group of mines that is in the Chhattisgarh we have created. And this mine is having very good future and extracting more than 1 million ton of bauxite there. But simultaneously we are also creating some of the ecotourism park at Samri that can be seen here. Next. So this is the same picture of the biodiversity park, and you will be also surprised and you will appreciate that one of the 1940s rope-way system we have converted into solar. So mostly all the mines, our running mines of bauxite is we are not mostly using the DG set or the power. Normally the solar we operate the mine. Next. This is some of the biodiversity conservation at Bafli, Mali, one of the biggest, highest producer of the bauxite from one of the mine, that is Bafli, Mali. More than 7.8 million ton of bauxite we are extracting. And post-extraction of the bauxite, we have created the coffee plantation and other number of trees, guava, other fruit-bearing charts, and that is now we have already preparing for this and sending to different corners. Next. So this is the flora fauna of the conservation at the Bafli Mali, which is although the production level is too high, but in spite of that, our people are working hard with the mindset for the biodiversity and conservation of flora and fauna. Next. This is the water restorative. As I said, all our mine is water positive. Whatever the water we consume, we have created more than the water at all the places. So pisciculture, other activities has already been created, started at most of the mines. Next. So this is the green belt development plantation, already seen at after and post mining what we have created, different fruit bearing chart. Where we cannot return the land to the actual here, there we are creating, and wherever we cannot create the first crop for 1 year we are giving to the social community from our CSR fund so that they can stand their own way. Next. This is the sustainable mine charter, because now it is a KRA of everyone who is working in our mines, because since beginning we have created this sustainable mine charter, and based on this we are extracting extraction of the mineral is going on. And not only that, even the new mines is coming up, whether coal also. So since beginning we keep in our mind how we can extract the mineral in systematic way. So that is the all 7 thematic area we are showing. So this is the, I think is one of the only 2 minutes I shall take, because we are for the video of the what we are. this is one of the cottage. The name in Jharkhand, it is a Dhumkudiya. The meaning of this travel word is where the people come for the introspection and the general meeting. So thank you very much for your patience here. One last thing, one sentence I would like to repeat. When we have started our career in 30 years back, that time the mining engineer was recognized by their productivity and the safety at the mines. Now in Hindalco, we reward the person who start the mine with a mindset of the sustainable mining and what sustainable mine charter we are doing. So we in our company appreciate the person who have the mindset for the community, who have the minds for the next generation to come, and overall the ecology and social status of the mine. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Brijeshi. A lot of good initiatives have been taken by Hindalco in the area of sustainable mining and community development, and the same needs to be continued. Now, I would like to invite Sri Paul from IIT ISM Dhanbad. He has done a case study on sustainable progressive land restoration in the arid region of Gujarat. Sri Paul, please continue.
Good afternoon, all of you. I'm Professor Biswajit Paul, teaching in Center for Mining Environment from last 20 years. And I have, produced around 10,000 students to serve your industry in the area of sustainability. So kindly use them. And today my presentation is regarding sustainable progressive land restoration during and after lignite mining. It's a case study of arid Kutch. It's different from our area because that area doesn't have much rainfall. They don't have good water. And my friend Amish Makadia from GMDC is here and who has helped me to complete this project. This project was given by, Department of Science and Technology, New Delhi, for 3 years. And you can see in this project various development that they have done in this lignite mining area in Kutch. Next. This is my good school. And as you know, that the world has a lot of deserts in this particular middle zone, in the equatorial zone. But India is green because of the Himalaya. We have all studied this.